Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Going to the second half here of Drop Frames. Let's talk about Returnal. Cohh, you have finished it, correct? You are done with the Returnals? Okay. Oh, you're muted.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. Oh, okay. So is this one of the, let's talk about Returnal. I feel like this game, in a lot of ways, I know your tweet was mostly joking when it came to like, hey, put some DLC out where you just make it Hades.
No.
I really wish that was true. I really wish that.
Oh no, I for the record, I wasn't joking at all. Like I
know, but it came across as somewhat joking. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I feel like this game is great, but it's like it's just a little bit shy from like unbelievably incredible for me. Granted, haven't finished it yet. Maybe the last couple of levels will do that for me. I am on level, or I'm in the 5th biome, which we're jumping the gun a little bit. Did the difficulty ramp up a fuck ton for you in that biome? Because it definitely ramped up for me. Like the game was pretty smooth sailing until I hit that 5th biome, and now it's like everything's just gonna murder you. You're just gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, 5th biome's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
Yeah.
I didn't spend too much time in it because I had a pretty strong build when I went through it. So I kind of just went through it and then shortcuts open up and stuff. So, but that being said, like it's a lot. There's definitely spikes in the difficulty, specific mobs in particular that make things a lot more difficult.
Yeah. Spoiler territories. Where should we? Where are the boundaries here? Do you think? Because this game, like, I don't think we should talk about the story at all. I think
probably
that's probably not fair game.
But honestly, we should probably wait to talk about the ending and stuff too, like the replayability and everything until later too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll pull up just some footage here. This is very early on in the 1st biome. Very early on in my playthrough. I think I'm like 20 minutes into the game here. Still learning how to dash, etc. But yeah, I think this game's great. I think that it's one of the games where it presents itself as a like over-the-shoulder shooter. And I think the more that I've played it, it's more just like a bullet hell where you just never let go of shooting rather than tapping shooting. And it's more movement based than anything. And the game kind of like disguises itself as being a 3rd-person shooter, I think, early on. And it's a little deceptive in that, in a good way. Like it's the game definitely opens up and has so many more layers as you progress through it. Much more than I thought were going to be there. A great example of that is on there's one like quote, it's not scripted, but it's where most people die for the first time on their first run. They encounter a certain thing that happens, and unless you've seen that thing, they will very quickly just end your run. And so on the run after that, I got to the 4th area or 3rd area on the 2nd run, and it was fine. I was having a good time. But it was when I died, I started having more fun because I started unlocking more things and I started seeing the actual like progression in this game rather than just like, hey, go fight these bosses and, kill these monsters type thing. I think once you start unlocking the different guns and the different aspects of them, it really starts to open up and be a lot more fun for me. That being said, I don't necessarily like all the guns. I don't know if that's just me or if that's because the other guns suck. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that, Cohh. I've only used the carbine and the other like auto rifle gun. Every other thing,
the LMG kind of thing.
Yeah. Which is I think also the one that had the sound bug. I think that's patched out now. But there was like a horrific.
That was fucking hilarious,
dude. It scared the shit out of me when that happened. Just like ungodly loud. But yeah, I haven't used the shotgun apart from, picking up and seeing how it handles. Did you use any of those in your runs? What guns did you primarily focus on?
So the big thing about the game is, and this is one of the things that I unfortunately really wish had been done a little bit better, is that the game really shines with the traits that weapons can get. Now, the way that it works though is unless you unlock a trait, then you generally don't get more traits for that gun.
Right.
So you have to use a gun to keep getting those traits unlocked. And some of the later traits are awesome. Like super, super powerful, awesome. Like one of the later shotgun traits makes it so you don't have to reload the shotgun if all the pellets hit the target.
Oh.
So you can basically stand next to something and just like right into it, So and there's the guns that I haven't really used yet. Funny enough, I was looking forward to like playing with those guns specifically, even though I didn't really like them. Like there's this one gun that is like a dot gun. So you hit it with you hit something with it and it kind of slowly ticks down. But if you hit like the surface with it, the poles will stick into the ground and create like arcing electricity between them. It's not a great gun normally, but I've heard that some of the perks you get for it later are incredible. So also same with the grenade launcher is similar, where it's like it's okay to get to start with, but then you start getting like other stuff and it just gets better and better and better and better. So I kind of wish that there was more there in terms of like maybe the gun should have had like a small pool of secondary features unlocked on pickup, and then you could unlock more by using the gun. But the fact that you can that all the guns are kind of base variants and you have to kind of slog through them to make them good, especially when you have other guns that have like fully unlocked sets that are really, really, really good, that it just kind of it's kind of like, why would I ever use that? Like if why wouldn't I just wait until I get So it's kind of frustrating there. Tie that into the fact, and again, no spoiler territory, but you don't see people playing this game for like 30, 50, 60, 100 hours for various reasons.
Yeah.
And because of that, because you don't have these long gameplay times, dude, you can get all of the traits ranked up to level 3. At the end of my playthrough, I had a handful unlocked at level 2.
I've only seen 2.
Me.
Yeah,
dude, and it killed me because it's like there's all this overhead and all this room to like keep playing the game if you want to, but it's just like,
so
yeah.
is there no save carryover? Like if you want to restart the game, it starts at like tier 1 traits. Oh, okay. That does suck. It's spoiler territory, so you got to be careful. But yeah,
it's hard to talk about it without more being done. We could talk about it more next week when the people that have really wanted to get to it. And here's the problem though. It's going to be hard to talk about this at all because this is one of those weird situations where I really want people to experience it and get through it themselves. But at the same time, there's a lot of people that are waiting to play this until they get a PS5, which they can't get.
Yeah.
So it's like there's never really going to be a good time to discuss it because there's literally thousands and thousands of people that just can't play, not because they don't want to, but because they physically can't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'll
have to do like a 10-minute spoiler thing next week or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, story-wise, I think I could just say that as someone who, first off, I think the story might be the most intriguing part of the game. I think the way the story is told, and the idea that like they kind of do the thing of like when you die, some stuff will come up on screen, and you're like, what the fuck was that? So like you learn a little bit more, kind of like you do in Hades, but they're not like, it's not like in Hades where you go and start talking to people type deal. You just see some like loading screens and you're like, the fuck was that? And if you miss that stuff, it really sucks. I've missed that stuff and chat was like, did you see what just happened? And I was like, no. And so they would show me a clip. So that type of stuff I think is very important and also very well done. And then the actual story aspect of the stuff, I think is better than the gameplay. So far, I haven't seen the ending yet. But I'm loving every aspect of it. They like breadcrumb it out. And it seems very, there's kind of something happens and you're like, oh fuck, that's really cool. That happened to me, a little bit way through the game. And then the other side of the thing is, Cohh, is this game on the scary detail? Was it scary for you? Because going to that house scares the fuck out of me every time that door
there were definitely times. There were definitely times
when it fucking turns into PT. Right? Like you're walking around the house and I don't like it. They got the audio in the game. It does a phenomenal job. They have like 3D audio that is very, very well done, and they utilize it very, very well, both in gameplay and in storytelling. The way they do it in gameplay is you'll walk up to different barriers. And if you like zoom in on the chest that's behind this wall, if you listen, the thing that you're supposed to utilize to open up that door will be in the direction of the audio. A lot of times you don't necessarily need to do that because it will just be very apparent. But other times it helps in terms of finding where that's at. The story aspect of it is very much of like footsteps or, classic horror elements of things, just like being behind you or above you or eerie noises, whatever. There was definitely one or two times as not a horror game fan, I had to just be like, all right, well, let's just progress through this little area without my headphones on because this is not fun. I'm not enjoying this whatsoever. But yeah, it's good. I haven't completed it yet. Like I said, I'm on the 5th world, so I still have a bit to go in terms of the actual full story presentation. So I'll have more to say on that, I'm sure, once I wrap it up. But gameplay wise and everything along those lines, like, I think it's great. I think the more that I play it, I like it more and more. And it like I said, it opens up so many more things as you die, which is good for a game. That's kind of what you want in this style of game, that you can get better. This is me trying to see what's actually can be shot in the environment, because there is a handful of things when you walk over to a statue and it has its little eyes lit. That means if you shoot that, you'll get some resources from it.
You said this is pretty early in the game that you're showing right now?
This is the first level. Yeah, the first biome, as it were. I'm not going to show anything past this biome, but
yeah,
you get like cryptic shit like this where you find different pickups, and it says, not
the endless cycles of
not necessarily the most like comforting words to read when you're crash landing on an alien planet type deal. Yeah, it's good though. I'm very excited to finish it. Like I said, yes, I am shooting that statue's dick to see if anything happens. You got to do that. That's just gamer 101 right there. Graphically, I think this might be one of the best showcases of the PS5. I think this game is just phenomenal. I'll try to find like a bullet hell fight that's not spoilery, but like when shit starts popping off in this game, it is gorgeous looking. In terms of like,
it is very, very pretty. Oh yeah.
There's and just the amount of shit that can happen on the screen at one time is one of those things where it's like, oh, video games can actually do this now.
Without having like a hitch or hiccup kind of deal.
Yeah.
Showing off like the power of the PS5, like processing wise.
Yeah. I had like maybe one time where there were so many things on screen that the PS5 started to chug a little bit, but that was also like that guy shooting what he just did, plus like 10 other guys all firing off like a billion bullets at the same time. And I was like, yeah, of course, this is going to bend a little bit. But the other thing, I do have some things and I have to face this later today. The big conversation around this game is that runs are very long and there's no save feature in the middle of a run. You can put your PlayStation into rest mode, which is kind of the workaround in that. But for someone like my situation, I've done it twice now where I've been in a very good run. I put my PlayStation into rest mode and then the game updates and it just deletes the run and I have to start over from scratch. That happened 2 days ago and it happened today because they did another update in the middle of the night. And so the run that was going very well for me is seemingly ended because there's no save apart from the rest mode on the PS5. So that sucks. I think that's probably the most conversation or the biggest conversation to come from this game is like, they need a save mode of some sort. Cohh, I haven't seen your tweets on that or anything. What's your take on the idea of the saving aspect of the game? How do you feel about it?
It always worked for me. So I guess I'm a little biased. Like I would put my PS to sleep. It would come up. I would open up the thing. It would be like, we can't go online because there's an update. Do you want to update now? And I'd say no. And then I'd keep playing.
So you must have had the updates off essentially. The auto updates off. Yeah.
It wasn't auto updating. Yeah. So it worked fine for me. I think they are. I saw someone in chat earlier say that they are putting in some kind of mid-save feature in a patch or something. I don't know if that's been confirmed.
I think they said they're working on something.
So that's good at least. But no, it was never an issue for me in the 20 plus hours I played.
Yeah.
Maybe I just got lucky.
Well, I think it's also you played it, 4 days in a row or 5 days in a row, where I've taken like a day break in between type deals. So the updates have been it's one of those things where it's like I'm glad they're updating the game, specifically with that fucking audio bug that I had that I tweeted out. It's just
during one of the fight. I ran into that too.
Clip.
dude, I shit my pants. It was so fucking loud. And it was in the middle of like really cool boss fight music that like has a theme to it. And it just, I don't even know like how to describe the audio. It's just someone pushed all the volumes up on a mixer to
Just
like
blown
1,000.
out bassy audio that's just piercing. Yeah,
It scared the shit out of me when it happened.
It's like a bunch of TikTok videos, you know, where they blow out the bass like that.
Yes.
In game.
Yeah. That's on my Twitter if you want to watch it. It's very spoilery though. It will show you the fourth boss of the game. Very upfront. So be very careful about checking it out. But yeah, I think it's great. Another thing, $70. What do you think, Cohh? How do you feel about the $70 price tag? That's a big point of conversation around the game.
The gameplay is phenomenal. There's a lot of things I really like it, but I wish I could have played it a lot longer. I wish there was reason for me to play it a lot longer. I wanted to get more time out of this game than it gave me. So it's a really hard sell for that thing, especially considering that it's like, I think they could do a few relatively easy things to really increase the gameplay time. Which is fine, because I mean the loop itself is phenomenal. Funny enough, I played it off stream for just a little bit because I had like 30 minutes to kill a few days ago, and I just fired it up and played off stream and ran into an area that I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
During my run, and I was like, man, like there's still a lot here.
Really?
It's just, there's just nothing for So nice tale. So yeah, it's I really hope there's a future DLC or something that makes it so the genre that it chose to make this game can really shine. Because I feel right now that the roguelite part of the game could be done in a lot better way. Yeah, so it's again for $70, if you're playing it to kind of play the game and kind of beat it, then it's a really hard sell for $70. Just for the amount of time. That being said, it's a great time. And you probably spent $2,000 for your PS5 anyway, because you had to get it scalped. So, I mean, what's $70, right? It's cool. Yeah.
Is the story so well contained that they couldn't just like put extra levels in there? Like.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. It doesn't even need that.
Yeah.
Like the thing is it just. The beautiful
it's a great
thing
game that just needs a lower price. Is that what I'm hearing?
No.
The beautiful thing about Binding of Isaac and of Hades is that the whole point of a roguelite is that you do it lots and lots of times. And Binding of Isaac and Hades give you lots of great reasons to do it lots and lots of times.
To go back, yeah.
This game doesn't have that.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
It does everything
terms of like
great.
builds. Like it doesn't
In
have just a
terms
variety
of
of like
gameplay.
guns, builds, and all that
In terms
stuff.
of the core game, like in Binding of Isaac, you're constantly unlocking new items. You're constantly doing all this stuff. In Hades, you're every win is like a chipping away at the ending, which takes like 10 plus things, and then there's even more after that. But in this game, it's like that big meta backbone that holds the roguelite together is like 2 vertebrae instead of a whole backbone.
Yeah.
Like there's just not enough reason to do run.
I think you're trying to say you see credits at the end of this game.
Yes, you see exactly. You see credits a lot earlier than you should for a roguelite.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. That's the non-spoiler thing. You see credits way earlier than you should for a roguelite. They should have had reasons in there for you to be doing like at least 10 to 20 more loops of this game before you see those credits. Yeah.
So as far as a roguelite goes, the name Returnal is kind of misleading. Is that what you're saying? Like you don't Returnal to it.
It's
again, there's
spoilers.
We'll talk more about that another time.
Yeah.
Credit to Element Triple X in my chat for that joke.
Yeah. There you go.
It's very big of you to credit them. You could have just taken the glory for yourself.
Like I have. It doesn't feel good.
Every streamer has. I mean, that's how we do what we do. That's being a streamer.
You know what pisses me off is when I think of something, say it without even looking at chat, and then someone's like, "He stole my joke." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I thought of that first." This game does look
think
cool.
I think of all the jokes first, Max. I've never
It's
experienced
true.
that.
They can't prove it. They can't prove it.
They can't prove it, motherfuckers. No, this game's very cool, man. I kind of just like want to show a fight, not a boss fight, but something later on. Because right now you're seeing like one enemy at a time, and it's just doing a disservice to what the game actually like turns into in a lot of ways. Because it gets fucking bananas. But it's all like very.
Your camera's so tiny.
Yeah, it's a very tiny camera.
Why is it so tiny?
I got to fit in between the UI elements at the bottom.
All right.
Yeah, I guess go look up that footage. Maybe the trailer does a better job of showing that craziness. But yeah, in terms of the $7 price tag, like I kind of agree with Cohh. It's $70 is a lot for this, and I also think that in a lot of ways, this game, we should state, because I haven't said it that often, if at all, in the moment of talking about it. This game's hard, and if you are good at this game, it will very quickly diminish the amount of playtime that you get out of it.
Yes,
and so I think
sure.
in a lot of ways,
problems.
I think in a lot of ways, Cohh was good at this game, and was able to get through
We'll
it.
go with hard okay.
Okay, he was hard okay at this game, and he was
Hard
able to
okay.
get through aspects of it much faster than what a normal or what other people have done. I shouldn't try to say normal, etc. I think the hours that I've seen on this range from like 10 to 30. So if you go through and do everything kind of the way you're supposed to, you can get through it a lot faster. Cohh, what did your normal what is your normal? What did your hours logged go to? Do you know?
My total hours, I want to say, was like mid-20s ish, and
Okay.
chat may have to help me here. So I want to say mid-20s ish, but I do also want to say that I was not rushing things. Particularly, there's a section of the game where exploration is encouraged, and I was definitely like taking my time, and there were many times when I would goof around on runs and get killed. So
Yeah.
if I was trying to beat the game, it could have been quicker.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think like probably 15 to 20 is what I would say on average for most people. I don't know where I'm at in my playtime. I want to say maybe.
Funny enough, though, it's
11 or
important to
12.
mention the Reddit for this game, which is surprisingly wholesome, by the way. Credit to them.
Nice.
There are apparently a lot of folks that are having a lot of difficulty with this game. Like
Yeah.
the kind of average gamer, there are people that are no joke on like attempt 100 of the first boss.
Yeah.
Like if you're not used to this type of game and you just jump into this game, it can be relatively brutal. It's just like you said earlier, it's a bullet hell in a lot of ways in a 3D environment. So if that's not your thing, it can be tough. It can be tough.
Yeah, it is very much a bullet hell. So yeah, I think that's Returnal. It's good. If you do have a PS5, Zeke just got cut in half.
What happened to Zeke? He's getting eaten.
I think his bitrate dropped, so the camera size shrunk. It'll fix itself here in due time.
Come back.
Yeah. Yeah, if you do have a PS5, it's definitely worth picking up. $70 is a steep price. It's one of those things where it makes me wonder, like, it had to have been a Sony decision to price it at that, because they don't really have like a big game at the moment, apart from, I guess, Resident Evil. Granted, that's not first party, but they needed like a win at the moment, so I feel like that's kind of why they priced it at that. But depending on where you're at in terms of skill level, you can definitely get like a lot of hours out of this. And if you like the game enough, I guess essentially you could just start a brand new run to go at it again. But yeah, it is kind of interesting that Cohh, you said that it goes up to tier 3, because I'm, like I said, in the back
for
half.
the record,
What's that?
I didn't get a single plugin to 2.3.
Oh, you just know it exists?
The only time I saw them was in the dailies.
I haven't even done a daily yet.
Cool. Dailies are pretty cool. A little side thing to mention: there are daily quests you can do. They give you the in-game persistent currency that lasts between rounds called Ether, and they give you like a set weapon with set what would you call them? Sub effects or something? Set effects on them. Yeah, the little
perks.
minor
Yeah,
effect
yeah,
things. The set
Yeah.
perks. And those are generally level 3. So we know they go up to level 3, and I've had guns that have had 4 of those. So I mean the amount of variance you can have is wild. But you need so long to level them up. Like
Yeah.
just to unlock the perk originally is like a bunch of enemies, let's say like 10 rooms. And then to get a perk from level 1 to level 2, first you have to pick up the gun with the version unlocked. So you can find it with a level 1, or you can find it with a level 1 that's upgradable. And then once you get that gun, you have to clear like 30 enemies with that gun.
Yeah.
Which is also kind of counterintuitive, because that means if you find a better gun, that you have to make the decision, do I want to be more powerful, or do I want to unlock this perk that might be okay on the gun I'm using now? So it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. I also, to even further, some of the upgrades that you just get in general, not necessarily gun upgrades, I haven't even been able to like use them in levels where it's like, oh, I can't do this right now because I just progressed past them. So like that part of the game sucks as well. It almost in a lot of ways like invites you to fail so that you can go see some other stuff in the game that you couldn't otherwise because of, upgrades. They exist in this game. Go figure. It's how the game is structured. The other thing, controller. Last thing, really, controller.
Oh wow, they just released patch 133, by the way, 5 minutes
God.
ago.
What's in it? Does it say?
I don't know. It's just a proper death is an earned one. Patch 133 out now is from their official Twitter.
Well, there goes my run. I'll be starting over later today. I mean, it's not like I just
I look over in your chat.
artifact.
No, my run.
Yeah.
I didn't just
talking
have
about
the proper lifesteal artifact or anything. House, you dicks.
So that's just how that works. If you just update it, then your just run's gone.
If you have auto update or the auto apply update on, I'll be real honest. This is outside of the game itself. I have a lot of issues with the PS5. I get pretty upset on a regular basis about the PS5 when it comes to like an OS level.
Yeah.
I get pretty ticked off about a lot of that shit. They need some changes to it. I've also just had like a ton of issues when it comes to HDMI handshaking and also Ethernet things when it comes to like network configurations. Granted, I'm changing a lot of things on the fly, but the actual OS is like not keeping up in a lot of ways. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing when it comes to the PS5. But I was gonna say the controller. That controller, it continues to speak and do things very well for the PS5 is a major talking point and as to why you should play a game on the PS5 compared to other platforms. In this game, the big one that I think a lot of people are talking about is like when you're walking around in rain, feels like you're being rained on the controller. You can feel the little like rain droplets happen.
That's cool.
As the sound hits. The other thing that you do, where is it? I'm actually curious. Cohh, did you play with haptics turned on or off when it came to the triggers?
Oh, on. For
Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
100%.
So it does I think this was a GameCube thing on like the left trigger. If you hold it down halfway and it has a very hard like check, that'll be like the aim down sights. And then if you push it in further, it does the like gun special. I didn't like it at first, but the more I played it, I really liked it.
I had absolutely no idea that the game did that. I was fully convinced that I had spilled soda on my controller and that my button was sticking. So I sat there, like you can actually watch on the stream, and I was like, "Oh, I just got this thing. Oh, come on!" Like I'm like, "Did I spill beer on it?" Like, oh, it's that good.
That's
It feels
great.
like
It's
you
very
hold it
good.
down and it just stops.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Wow.
man.
It's impressive.
It's really cool. I didn't even know it had that tech in it. I don't even know, like in the controller, how it does that. But it's really cool how it
You
works.
got to load up Astro and play through Astrobot because they do that shit all over the place with it. It's very good.
Hopefully devs utilize that more. Hopefully it's not something where they just do it a bit in the beginning and then it's overlooked and they're like, we're not going to do that. It's stupid.
Call of Duty, I think, has done it a bunch. So there's
what's super cool is it's the first time it's literally revolutionary control scheme because now for the first time ever, instead of having buttons next to each other, you literally have buttons on top of each other. So now it's like you have one button on the top, and then you have a second button under it that you can fully utilize if you want to. Like we've never seen that before.
I think
it worked well.
I think the GameCube did have a 2-stage trigger like that. I don't know if it was the same technology, but yeah, it is cool that it can do that type of stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't play much GameCube, but I've been corrected a billion times saying the very same thing.
That's good to know.
Did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I will say
buttons
this.
on buttons, in buttons. Yeah.
I don't know about your mileage, Cohh. The controller battery life fucking sucks.
Oh, it sucks. Yeah.
It's real bad.
As my chat will tell you, almost every single... I left it plugged in overnight.
Yeah.
Every session on rest mode. And almost every day I'd get a controller warning saying the battery's low.
I'm getting like 4 hours.
I think it's because of the haptics, though.
It is.
Like, I'd be surprised if if it wasn't because of the haptics.
Gotta be.
Because there's so much going on that controller.
How many controllers does it come with out the box? I wouldn't know, obviously.
You get one.
Oh, that's stupid.
Why don't you go check, Max?
One controller. That's bupkis.
I think I've gotten like I said, 4 to 5 hours out of a controller charge from like dead or from full to dead. So, and it's also an expensive controller, $70 controller that also does have the like controller drift. I think that the controllers are rated for, I want to say I saw like 400 hours or something is what they were rated for, which is quite low in the grand scheme of things. But that was from a random headline. I don't know how true that is. I have seen a bunch of people saying that controller drift does exist though. Anyways, that's Returnal. It's good. You guys should play it now that you have your PS5s. It's worth checking out. If only for the controller and just the way that the graphics look. It's a very, very pretty looking game. And it does a lot of things.
It's just a damn great game. It's a great game at the end of the day.
It's fun to play.
You said it's worth checking out. Are you saying that like just because it's a good game, or are you saying that with the price included in that thought? I'm just curious.
I think the price conversation is different for. I was saying this on stream the other day. Like I've been streaming for 10 years now, and the idea of like, is it worth the money? I fucking hate that question because money is worth different to every single person. It's such a singular identity when it comes to money. So like to me, is it worth $70? Yeah, because I streamed it and that provided content. So yeah, it's definitely worth $70 to me. Is it worth $70 to you? I have no fucking clue. I can't answer that question.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
I really don't know.
Yeah.
I like, how much Doge do you have? Maybe that's my follow-up. What's your Doge? So yeah, I think Zeke, knowing what I know about you, is it worth $70? Yeah. I think it's worth checking out. Yeah.
It's also got it's got very liberal auto aim. So even if you suck with aiming with a controller, it very much makes it so you can focus more on the action, dodging, and movement, and a little bit less on the
Yeah,
that was actually going to be one of my questions.
It's got like a grid, and you just hold down the button, and as long as something's in that grid, it just like shoots whatever's in that grid, which is great.
Yep.
Cool.
I like the Cohh breaks it down usually according to hours and money and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I think there's a third one that would be enjoyment, like out of 10 out of 100, whatever. How much enjoyment did you get? And I think that I try and use that kind of scale as far as mathematically define a worthwhile game.
Yeah.
But I do make a point. I will say this, JP. I totally understand that because I get the question a lot on like indie days and stuff like that. People will be like, "Oh, it's the first time I'm seeing it. Do you think it's worth it?" And I said, "I will never tell you to buy a game. I will never, ever, ever do that because I don't want you bitching at me if you don't like it. I can tell you how much I'm enjoying it. I can tell you how much it's worth or how much I paid for it. And I can tell you how many hours I got out of it. And you can make your fucking leap from there. But the best way you can say if you can see if it's worth it, watch me fucking play it and look at the game.
Yeah.
And see
get informed with
my
your
reactions.
gameplay.
I'll talk about like everything about it. I'll talk about the music. I'll talk about the controls. Like, do they feel crisp? Are they spongy? Like whatever. Like I'll let you know how physically the things you can't decide, or you can just ask me, like, how are the controls? I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But as far as like, is this game worth it? I'm never going to say yes to that.
I understand the question.
As
a
John
streamer,
Moose
you
Kid just
understand
said
it,
in my
right?
chat.
Yeah.
Look with your special eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Just look with your eyes and figure it out.
That sounds like a very Mr. Rogers kind of a thing.
Yeah. Might
You look with your special eyes.
Yeah.
Look
I don't know
with
what
your
that
special eyes.
It's true.
My brand.
That's Returnal. We'll talk more about it either next week with Maximilian or with Dan the week after, or both, because I think it's a game worth talking about in that capacity for sure. Especially, I think, because by then most people, at least on the show, will have finished it. I'm trying to finish it up today or tomorrow, but just depends on how.
I might fire it up offline, see if I like it.
It depends on how much I suck
Off stream
on the next couple of levels, because I was telling Cohh that 5th levels. Saw a guy, 5 seconds later, I was dead. Run was in dead. And I was just like, cool, great, I'm glad. Fuck this game. I hate this shit. And then I got to go into the house right after. So I was real upset with that game at that point. And if you've played, you know what that means. If not, you'll figure out what it means. That is the Returnal. Max.
Yeah.
How is the Chivalry? The Chivalry 2. I know both you and Cohh played that. Zeke, did you jump in at all?
Chivalry is good.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
It sounds like Cohh has good things to say about it too, but I really enjoyed the Chivalry.
Now, how much Chivalry 1 did you play, Max? Were you big into the Chivalries?
Yeah, a decent bit. Chivalry 1 was fun. I think the last time I played Chivalry 1 was probably with like a Star Wars like lightsaber mod, which was pretty fun.
Okay.
But as far as like,
Awesome.
I don't have it fresh enough in my mind to tell you like how different it is. It definitely still feels like Chivalry. In my mind, it seems like they looked at like Mordhau and kind of grabbed a couple things from there, but didn't quite go as like intricate as Mordhau. It's still very accessible. It's still pretty easy to like jump into, and still very Chivalry, meaning that it's, you know, a little more silly maybe than Mordhau is or whatever. You still got the big screams and everything. Yeah, watch me chop people up. Nice. It's super fun. And when I say that, like the difference between the mechanics between something like Mordhau and this still has like some skill set in terms of like you have to do certain things in order to block right properly. Mordhau is like, you better block. Don't look at that.
What just happened?
I literally walked over a trap that I didn't know was there. There was a spike trap there.
Oh, your screen.
You learn very quickly. You learn very quickly as you're walking through. The maps are great, but the difference in Mordhau, you have to block the exact direction as an attack is coming in from you. With this in the tutorial, you block. You have to aim your reticle at like the tip of their blade or axe coming at you. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't have to be like, you know, matching the exact motion that they're doing. But yeah, that's kind of the best way I can describe the difference of it. It's not as nuanced as Mordhau is, but it's still enough there where you're feeling like you can get skilled with it, and if you put in the time, you know, you can get feel pretty good at the game and be like, all right, I'm starting to get this down, you know.
Yeah. How much this game for me was always, I never took the time to like do exactly what you just described. It was I'm gonna go in there and just continually mouse click or whatever the attack button was and like see what I can do. I'll chop some people up. Great. This game's pretty fun. The physics are real goofy. We lost. Next game.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I went through that. Can I have fun? Can I be successful in Chivalry 2 with that? Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think you can. I think this is the tutorial isn't very long, and it gives you just enough of what you need to learn in order to, you know, have a sense of, you know, you can do a little bit more than just straight spamming. You could still do that if you wanted to. But like I said, that's the difference between this and Mordhau. Mordhau, you might need to put a little more time in order to actually like compete against the players that are in there. Obviously, this game's newer, so, you know, the competitive player base is still being developed and accrued over time because it's just the beta that we've played. But I would think you'd stand more of a chance in this game to have more fun and feel like you're actually contributing and maybe cutting people up more than maybe something like Mordhau where it's going to take a little more time to get like that. It's Chivalry, right? So it's not as serious. I do think it's neat that you can tell they grabbed a little bit of what works in Mordhau and then adapted it to their game and made it still Chivalry. The maps are fantastic too. Just looking at them visually, like there's no map really that I played where I'm like, well, this is just terrible. You know what I mean? There might be some that I like had less success with. But yeah, Cohh might have a different answer there too if there was a map that he liked or didn't like or whatnot.
Are they all
yeah
like themed the same? Like, do you do the same thing in each map? And this is for Cohh or you?
No.
Really? Oh,
no.
so they have different objectives.
Some of them are like, so this one that you're watching right now, I think the earlier stage of it, if this is the same map, I can't remember. Actually, no, this might be a different map. You'll push through like an open battlefield and stuff, and at first you'll have to like push your siege weapons forward and like to siege the castle walls and stuff, and you'll have to burn like tents and stuff. I think that's what this section of it is right now. Yeah, you can see the markings there. You're supposed to grab like a torch and burn the stuff to progress the thing. But it's not like that in every single map. Like there are points that you push forward to, but it's a little bit different. And then also there's just team deathmatch stuff, which I didn't really play too much of because I enjoy the objective ones. They're just a lot more fun. They feel more like a big battle, pushing forward and invading something, or if you're defending.
Yeah. Cohh, what were your thoughts on it? How'd you like Chivalry 2?
Okay. So I think it's a fantastic, Max said it really well. It's Chivalry 1, and then Mordhau came out, and it really took Chivalry 1 and added a lot of very cool improvements. Went a little bit more, I would say, specialized in a lot of ways. So it kind of catered more to enthusiasts. And now Chivalry 2 is bringing it back into the like slightly more arcadey, slightly more accessible arena.
Yeah.
There's classes now. So you actually select a class, and then each class has 3 subclasses. Classes have passive abilities. They have a unique item. So like there's one class that like heals and throws out bandages. There's another that has like fire bombs. There's one that has like a war horn that heals everyone around them and inspires them. Then they have their sub weapon types as well. And there's even class abilities, like one class can use 2 main hand weapons and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So there's all sorts of craziness. On top of that, the combat system is a lot more refined in terms of timing. So now, you can block an attack. If you immediately do an attack afterwards, you get like a riposte in. Those can then block multiple people attacking you, which is super cool. So they've added like a better way to deal with that. So it's not always just an absolute like steamroll. If 4 people attack one person, you can actually see that one person winning in a lot of ways if they do it properly. There's now a down state that works really well. So when you go down, you don't die unless you get your head cut off or something. And you can kind of crawl around and other people can revive you. Or on the ground, you can punch people.
Yeah.
And if you punch people a couple times, you get inspired and then get back up and can keep fighting.
That's
which
cool.
is super cool. Lots of great weapon types, lots of very cool move sets. It's a really, really fun game. I played it pretty much every Cozy stream, and I think even a little bit on the live streams during the beta. And when it was done, I was like, man, I instantly went to the Twitter and was like, when's the next one? Like, we need this now.
Yeah.
So we're going full Shiv 1 style with this game. We're going to have private servers as soon as we can get those set up. We're going to have like community games and things like that. Like, it's really solid. There is a little bit of a desync issue that Torn Banner is working on. So there are definitely times when you're playing when you're like, my sword just went through his head and then I died. And it's kind of like, and I didn't even see him attack. Like there's definitely little moments like that every so often, but thankfully overall it works fine. And overall it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I would say the little asterisks to that is when you do have the desync with this game, it's not as bad as you would experience in similar games and of this genre or whatever. It's not as bad as it could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's still playable and it's still passable, but you enough where you can notice, like you said, that there is a little bit of desync stuff, and it's good to know that they're like aware of it and working to fix it as best they can.
Were there any server issues in the sense of just like not being able to connect? Like, was it overwhelmed or was it pretty fluid the entire time?
It was okay. I think it went down a couple times, but that's because it was an open beta. So I think they were actually patching it throughout the time. Okay. There was some downtime, but overall it was good. I mean, I was playing 95% of the time that I wanted to. So, and of course, this is again, there's no private servers yet. So everyone is playing on their servers, which isn't how it's going to be on live. I mean, most people are not most, but many communities are going to be getting their own servers. So at that case, it's like that takes that out of the equation.
Is there a server browser or do you just hit play?
Yeah.
There's a server
or you can just hit play.
You can also hit play as well. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. You don't see server browsers that often anymore. So it's cool to see that they still exist in a game like this.
Makes playing with buddies super easy. You just like when we had a bunch of people that wanted to play, we would just like look at the server browser for a low server. Just be like, all right, everyone jump in here. And then all of a sudden you just fill up and all of a sudden every person you see on the battlefield. It was really cool.
Yeah, that sounds fun. How's the they have like an archer, I assume, right? Like how is that?
Yep.
How's like the FPS aspect of it?
Sacriel was killing with it.
Oh,
It is not only very strong, but you can upgrade it later into like getting crossbows and things of that nature. So
Yeah.
a good archer is a scary thing in this game. But it's a bow and a crossbow. So I mean, you're talking about like not only drop but delay. Like it's a lot more of an enthusiast thing, I'd say. It's not like a normal first person shooter by any means. I mean, your draw is, like so it's like, it's not like shoot. Like you're having to like take the time.
Well,
and
it
go
also
through the
depends
motions
too.
with
Yeah,
everyone else.
if you're using a short bow, you can sling arrows faster. If you're using a long bow, it's going to take more time to pull it back, and then you do more damage. So if
There you go.
you want that quick firing arrows, if you get really good at just being accurate, so having that bigger power behind your bow isn't as much of an issue for you because that's not the type of gameplay you want. You can
Yeah.
still do that, and you do start with a short bow first, so you do have like faster ability to sling arrows and stuff, but. It should also be noted too. I'm playing in third person as a choice. You can play in first person, obviously.
you
like all the
can.
other
I only
chivalries.
played in first.
Yeah, I
Oh.
played in third just to have a better awareness. I do the same in Mordout, just to have a better awareness of, especially since this game is less
Let me
reliant
find
on
some-
matching the exact direction of the attack. Third person worked fine for me because I was able to know more what's around me. And the blocking system is a little bit more forgiving in terms, like I said, with Mordhouse. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
you can go for first person.
However,
Looks great.
is so immersive. Like that's
Yeah.
the only reason I like third person. You will do better in third person, just like Max said. I mean, your cone of vision is like dramatically increased, and most importantly, you can see people to your left and right, which you can in
Yeah.
first person. Like you are locked into whatever's in front of you, and but they do it really well. Like the first person works really well. It's easy to use. Yeah, I really enjoyed first person.
Does it feel because when you said talked about Sacriel doing Archer and stuff like that, does it feel shitty and cheap when you're like running, you're like, I'm gonna go kill the guy, thwip, and down you go?
Oh God, yes,
Like,
it hurts so much, dude. Oh, I curse
Does
Archer.
it feel
That's
cheap
basically
to the point of like hating having archers at all?
For me,
I
it
mean,
wasn't like that. It can get
not
like that
quite.
if you have a
Yes.
really good archer, but then it's on
Or
you
a really
to take
good
out that
run.
archer. Yeah.
If you're having
Mhm.
like an awesome run and then all of a sudden some dude shoots you in the back of the
Yeah.
head and one shots you, like you're just like Archer, but it's not. Yeah, but the thing is like they have their own large amount of negatives that come with that. So archers are really light. They don't generally have good melee weapons. If someone gets up to them, they're kind of dead in most cases unless they're really good. Even if what's kind of cool is whenever you block, there's a shield in the middle of the screen, and that's your stamina. And every time you take a hit, that shield goes down. So if you just sit there and hold block, that shield will go down, 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 down. And when it gets to the bottom, you drop your weapon. At that point, anyone can pick it up. And or hopefully you can. But so it makes it so like classes that have more ability to do that and heavier weapons, they're actually like an actual tankier class. On top of that, little side thing to mention, so many things in this game can be picked up and used against your enemies. There are barrels of fish. You can pick those up. You can cut off someone's head, pick it up, and throw it at someone else to kill them.
I kind of like that.
You can kill somebody, pick up their head, wait for them to respawn, and then when they're running at you, kill them with their own decapitated head.
Smart.
It's true.
Smart.
And grab a log and throw that at them, or like a bigger tree that someone found. One of the first things I think on this map when I came in, like one of our buddies just had a tree, like he had like a log he found.
Can
and he was
you
just like, ha?
can you stuff their head full of some feces and then throw it at them?
Not yet.
Or maybe
No,
what if
but
can you light the head on fire and then throw it at them?
You
I haven't
could-
tried that. You might be
you
able to
could
if
put
you.
You're
If you
selling
there-
it for me here.
and then you could take that and put that on your, and then you could
Oh.
yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Can you make a necklace out of their head of the heads you've collected?
Can I adorn myself with the trophies I've got in battle?
I
You can
just
pick up
wanted to ask
chickens and throw
because
chicken.
Ooh.
It seems like the biggest that would be the biggest attraction from the game because I liked and enjoyed the first Chivalry quite a bit, but like just the fact that I can like just get sniped out of nowhere seems like it might take away from my enjoyment of the game. But Are you saying it won't? It doesn't.
I
really,
would
'cause
say
you
get
just
in there and
go
make a
back
judgment
in?
for yourself,
Okay.
because for me,
Okay,
it
cool.
wasn't that bad. There's usually,
Okay.
if there's archers there, the maps are good enough where you can be like, all right, there's archers there. They have a clear line of sight of me. I'm just going to move to this
Okay.
part of the battle and not have to deal
Okay.
with them.
Okay.
You know, there's options there rather than just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. We can't do anything. We're just going to, you know, if it is a scenario where you are getting messed up really bad, usually it's just a case of that archer's just really good. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Cool.
But even then, there's ways to get around that.
Yeah, you can like, if an archer's really pissing you off, just roll class with a shield. And
Yep.
then, I mean, literally you're
That-
walking, you can just hold the shield up and walk right at them and then kill them. And then it feels great when you
Also-
kill them because you're like, what are you going to do? You know, it's like a
Speaking
paper
of
rock
having the
scissors
shield,
situation.
JP, you can throw that shield like Captain America, pick it back up, throw it at him again. You can do that.
All right, I'm in.
I did that. I killed many people. I'd just be like, ha, shield, and then smack them, and then grab the shield again. Ha,
That's,
shield.
that's
you
the
know?
classic
I
Captain
know-
America move right there.
I don't get to make the decisions for this show, but maybe we play it all together at some point.
Yeah, when is
Dude,
this come out?
I'm totally in
I like fun.
Whatever the next
June
beta
7th.
thing.
June
Yeah.
6th
There you go.
for those. Early June.
And there's
Yeah, by the way, I don't know if you guys just saw that. Because of that system I was talking about earlier, I just basically 1v4'd, killed 3 of them, and then my buddy came up and killed the 4th guy behind him. But it's all because now, like, right after you block, you can see the shield turns yellow. And if you attack in that time, it's a riposte. And during a riposte, if multiple people attack you from that side, you auto block them. So you're sitting there like a freaking tank, just like, you know, like hitting down these guys.
It's good.
It feels
Yeah.
so good. It feels so good.
Yeah.
If you guys do play this, though, I would love to learn. I would love to get a tap for that, because this
Yeah.
shit,
Oh, yeah.
it'd be a lot of fun. I think
Oh, yeah, dude.
I think you'd enjoy it a lot.
We could probably invite a bunch of people. I mean, how
Yeah.
big are the servers? Like 64?
They go up to like 64-ish,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think.
Yeah, we could do
Mhm.
it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also, side note, if it's anything going to be like Shiv 1, and we can't say for sure because we don't know yet, but in Shiv 1, you could, Zeke, you could easily get your own server, set it up for your community, turn off archers.
True.
Ah. That's a good idea.
We're going to have a first person only server, and it makes it a lot more interesting when people can only play by having to like look
Yeah.
around the battlefield and stuff. It's a different game.
Yeah.
Someone
Just
in
as
my
a
chat had
side
a good
note-
question.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Whoa.
I was just gonna say I still cut people up in first person quite well. Okay, I just want to say that.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Oh, for sure.
Someone in my chat had a question. Can you double shield?
Ah.
Dual wield the shields?
I don't know if
I
you can.
don't
Because-
know.
That would be awesome. Because it would remind,
I didn't see anyone
like
with the
I'm
double
playing
I
shield,
don't
Dark
think
but
Souls 3.
so.
I
I
don't
think
think
if you
so
pick
because
up
of
a
the nature of it.
shield, yeah, if you pick up a shield, I'm pretty sure if you try to pick up another one, it just says you have one. So I don't.
yeah,
I don't
think
think
the
you
shield
can,
is just designated to your left. You're like off arm. You know.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
That is one thing I will say though too, because you can throw like, you know, Chivalry. I think you could do it in Chivalry 1, but in Mordhau for sure. Like you can throw any weapon, anything you have, pretty much.
Yep.
However,
like this guy here.
With-
I'm
yeah.
just about to throw that probably.
with the shield, and if you have a shield and another weapon, you know, a primary or whatever with that shield, I don't know if there was a way. The reason why I knew that I threw the shield a lot is because whenever you had that out, it just auto throws the shield as opposed to like your primary. So I don't know if there's like a button press that I missed to throw the primary when you have your shield out. But if that's not a thing, that would be the
No
only drawback
idea.
I'd say with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's how I found out. I was like, all right, I'm going to throw my weapon and just huck the shield at the guy. I was like, so.
And I don't know if you guys can answer this. This is another, you know, pretty decent question. Can you switch handedness? Left-handed, right-handed?
I want to say you can. I think I was a left-handed person. Maybe. I don't
Well,
remember.
You're swinging right
think-
now.
Yeah, I think the thing that they didn't have turned on in this was customization. So there's this whole like customization
Oh.
system that's in the game, whereas there's a meta level.
Yeah.
So as you do well in the rounds, you gain experience, and that contributes to a level outside of the rounds. And then you could see the unlocks in the beta where you'd be unlocking like new skins and new outfit things and adornments and things of that nature, but you couldn't actually put them on. So I don't know. The only thing I'll say is I would doubt that you can switch handedness, only because that would mean that they would have to do like a whole set of animations possibly that they wouldn't want to do normally, but I'm not sure.
If
I
you're
don't think they
asking,
would
you
just
can
want to
swipe.
like reverse them.
You can
I
swipe
don't
from
know
any
if
I
that's-
was
direction.
just curious. People,
you can't do
people
that,
saying
yeah.
you can hold down Alt to slice the other way.
Yes, you absolutely can. I'm sorry. I thought you meant can you like switch left or right hand? But yes, if you click the mouse normally, you do a swing. If you hold down Alt and then click the mouse, it's generally from the other direction.
No, you had the question right, Cohh. Like I want to know, like, if you're a sword and board type person, can you put the shield in your right and swing with
Right?
the
Can you
left?
swap out the hands of what the primary shield is and what the? Yeah, I get what you're saying. I don't think that was in there, but I could have missed it. Maybe that's something that they're going to have like further on down the line, and it's just not in yet because this was a beta. But
Wait, did you just throw it? Is there a healing class? Is there like a doctor
Yes.
or something? Oh, really?
Yeah, I played the class that has bandages. You can heal yourself, or whenever any teammate needs healing, a little bandage thing pops up over the head, and you can throw a bandage at them. There's also a class with a war horn, and if you do the war horn, every person around you gets a regen heal.
Yeah. Also, if you're a knight on the knight side, you eventually, it's either the knight or something else. You throw down a banner, and everyone within that banner will start healing, and that just stays there, so people can go back to your banner until somebody destroys it, or I think you die or whatever. It might even persist after you die. I'm not sure.
There's also little enforcements you can put up, or not enforcements, little like spikes and stuff, so you can barricade doorways. And there's lots of cool little like things you can do that are class based. Oh look, I hung myself by accident.
Yeah, I started to say what was
wait, can you rewind that a little bit? What the fuck happened there?
So what I did was I walked into the gallows and I hit the wrong button, and you can put yourself in the stocks or on the gallows. So right as this guy killed me, I think I hit the wrong button, and then I hung myself, and it then killed me. So
That
you know,
is fucking delicious.
What are you gonna do?
Is that just a flavor thing?
Oh,
is there like
completely.
okay, it's not like a tactic where you like
Speaking of
playing dead.
No. There's no playing dead. Not yet, at least. It's a cool idea. There's a huge amount of voice commands and a lot of flavor in that regard, and a lot of it's really funny. So you can shout for your side, and your guy literally runs forward and goes, "For that guy we like!" And like all sorts of like just random stuff. I mean, it's great. It's great.
Good. Well, I was
a lot
hoping,
of yelling.
I mean,
A lot of yelling.
Has to have a lot of yelling. It has to. It wouldn't be Chivalry without it.
Yeah.
And I was hoping, like, God, if you're out there, Shiv devs, like, add some like EFT singing. Like add like some like chants that people do together and stuff. Yeah, I think that would be great.
That'd be pretty cool.
Or EDF, excuse me, EDF.
EDF, yeah, I know what you mean.
EDF.
You're from Tarkov, Jesus. EDF, that's what I meant.
Some NFT singing, yeah.
Everyone's some NSFW singing.
Definitely check it out though.
Correct.
Super fun. I can't wait till the next. I'm like Cohh, when the next beta comes out. I'm gonna be all over that.
Well, the game releases a month from now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna do another one, but
yeah, have they said that they're doing another
I would
beta?
hope so. I don't know.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
the thing, I'm just going off of what they said. Like we'll see on the next test or whatever, or next whatever.
Oh, they did say that. You're right.
Yeah, it was there. So you would imagine so. But things can
unless they're calling release a test. Oh God, please no.
Yeah.
That's just the state of game dev these days.
Sorry, I was laughing. I'm priming the next game that we're going to jump to, and I just have to show Zeke's amazing art here for NieR.
This is all fan-made Be Right Back screens.
Oh my God, that is just a nightmare.
Awful, isn't it?
That's just
nice.
I love it, dude.
Man. That's
I bet the sponsors really enjoyed that too.
Oh, was this for a sponsored stream?
Yeah, it was a sponsored stream.
You know, I think Yokotaro would probably just be like, I like this guy.
Yeah, I know, right?
You know what?
He's doing well. Yeah.
It might be right, yeah.
Yeah. You played some NieR Replicant. I think Cohh played this as well. I have a did either of you beat this game fully?
Not fully.
Okay.
I beat the first run.
Okay. I started to say.
First run.
Well, Zeke, how did you, this is your first, you have not played Automata, right, Zeke?
Yeah, no, I played Automata. I played
you did?
the first ending.
Oh,
but I didn't play it completely.
Okay, gotcha.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. What'd you think of this? How's the remake? A little bit old news now, but or older game.
There are many awesome aspects to the game. Obviously, the environments are very, very well done, very cool. The music, stellar.
10 out of 10, probably.
If a little repetitive in certain places that you have to go back to over and over again.
Okay.
That it can get a little, like a little Persona Velvet Roomy. You know,
Ah,
you're just like, oh god, I hear this again. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like the Velvet Room song from Persona and whatever song, you know, from NieR, like they're great songs in and of themselves, but you know, you can't feed someone their favorite meal every night. They're gonna get real tired of it.
sure.
But like, it looks gorgeous, sounds gorgeous. It's this is one of those games, and I'm not sure if Automata had a similar kind of feeling or look to it, but it feels like it's kind of like through like a brightness filter or something. It feels a little soap opera-y, like lighting wise.
Huh.
Yeah.
Washed out, I
but-
think is what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's the word. Washed out. Yeah. But I mean, I didn't play it for too terribly long. I put it on very easy. Like I put it on the easiest setting.
Yeah.
So it was just because I just wanted to, like, for the sponsor show, like I didn't want to spend the entire 3 hours on one boss, you know,
Right.
which is that could very well happen in a skill like a skill heavy ish game like this.
Sure.
When it comes to fighting and stuff. But for my limited time playing it, everything seems in the right spot. It's just it didn't grab me like Automata did because of the first chapter's setting, the high fantasy setting, or
yeah.
I mean the pseudo high fantasy setting. Like I jibe much more with like the futuristic feeling of Automata rather than this. So I haven't gone back to it, but I've heard from a lot of sources, if you stick with it, that the story just fucking is,
10 out of 10.
super great, just like Automata did and all that kind of stuff. So that's all I got. Go ahead, Cohh, take it away.
Yeah, Cohh, thoughts on this game? You said he did.
That's really about it. I did the first ending. I had a good time with it. It's definitely interesting. Has some cool turns. I kind of got like a big reveal at the end of the first one. And then I started the second one, but just some other stuff came out I rather would have done, and I kind of just moved on. And I don't know if I'm going to go back and finish it because I've heard it's pretty long. And of course,
like
the
30
way that
hours.
the NieR games works, the way the NieR games work, you have to play through a lot of the stuff you've done before. But that being said, it was fun. I think I played on hard or maybe normal. I don't remember what I played on. But it was a relatively good challenge, and I definitely enjoyed it.
Cool. Were you guys both playing the PC version and it ran fine?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was playing on hard. Yeah.
Zeke, you played PC and it was fine?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Cool. Yeah, this will probably be like a rainy day game for me type deal. Because it is, I think it's like 30 to 40 hours if you do all the endings, which is essentially like play the game in a lot of ways. And then Zeke, you also played. Now, what's that?
One small note real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if they fixed it since I played, but you're definitely going to want to limit your frames to 60 FPS like on your Windows because there are issues with it speeding up. The FPS will actually speed up to the point where the animations and stuff speed up, and apparently it's kind of a mess. So
fuck.
Yeah, little thing. I think they mentioned they were going to fix it though, so hopefully they did or are going to.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, since I was doing a sponsored thing, like I fixed that. Like my chat told me ahead of time.
Yeah.
And I put in the whatever settings were needed, so I never experienced whatever everyone else did.
I fixed it real early.
Yeah, makes sense. So Zeke, what I was gonna say is, Oddworld Soulstorm a remake as well, or is this a brand new thing? Like, what is this? Talk to me about this game.
No, I was confused as well when I heard about it. I was really confused. Like, is this going to be a reimagining, a remake of this or that or the other thing? And let me tell you, it feels like none of those. It feels like a brand new fucking game.
Really?
And yeah, it absolutely does. And it is awesome.
Yeah.
I am enjoying the absolute shit out of it.
It's not a remake, I don't think.
It's not a remake. Okay. Yeah.
But I don't know where like that came from.
I don't know.
Some people are saying it's a rebooted Soulstorm, but wait, a rebooted Soulstorm. Soulstorm wasn't a game.
You mean a rebooted
Odyssey?
Oddworld?
There's Odyssey, Exodus, Munch's Odyssey, not Shadow. What the fuck is that other one? The one that changes
I haven't.
perspective.
Not
But anyways, it's none of those. It's a brand new game.
Okay. All right.
It has one Stranger's Wrath. Thank you.
There you go.
It has wonderfully updated graphics. It has the cutscenes are fucking phenomenal. They're just as good as they were for their time when Odyssey and Exodus came out. Because I just played those two games for the first time in the past year, and I was impressed, knowing that they were released on PS2 and 3, something like that. And those cutscenes are present. They keep with tradition. They're fucking great. The attitude is the same. There's this cuteness with darkness, like mixed vibe, which is pretty standard for Oddworld. And they kept like the attitude and the voices and all that stuff. In case anybody was wondering, they did take out the farts. There's no farting.
Oh my god!
I know.
Why?
That's what everybody was asking. Well, there's a couple of reasons for it. One, I hear tale, rumor, maybe, I don't know, but I heard tale like the voice and one of the creators of the game said that the fart always felt forced. Sorry, it felt unnecessary, is what I meant. It always felt unnecessary, and it was a cheap gag, is what I heard they thought about it. But the other reason, and probably the main reason, is because they streamlined and the Mudakin commanding when they're following you like lemmings.
Yeah,
they streamlined it and they made it so much better and so much easier. There's no they took out the superfluous hello, like as fun as it was to go hello, hello, and then we go hello, back to you. As fun as that was, it was gameplay wise completely necessary. So all you do is in this game mechanically is you go up to them, you get their attention, and they automatically follow you. So it's hello and follow in one command, which is perfect. And then they've updated the AI as far as their intelligence goes. They're not genius level, don't get me wrong. They'll still fuck you, like if you want to save all of them, they'll still just die and do shit, whatever. I mean, it's your fault. It's your fault, obviously, because you tell them to do stuff. But this part. This is the part. Like, this is one of the hardest Mudakin saves that have come up against in the game. Because if he lags behind you just a little bit, he's buzzsawed. But they make two commands. There's only two commands this time. There's follow and wait. And you hold it down for everybody. You tap it once to take one Mudakin. So if you have a group of 5, you can hold it down to get all 5, or you can tap it to get one of them to follow you. And the reason for that is so cool is because there are certain sections of the game where you give your Mudakins weapons, and then they auto fight for you on certain
encounters,
screens, certain levels.
Nice.
And it's cool because it's like I don't want to compare it to auto chess or anything like that, because it's way less complex. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you set up your pieces, you give them weapons, and then you set it to go, and then you wait for them to okay, that guy comes down here, throw a thing at him. Okay, you got it, good. Now this guy, oh shit, he's not close enough, he's not noticing him fast enough, and he gets shot. So you reset it up and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. You saw that.
Really enjoying you suffer
I'm
right now. This is very fun.
How many times did this take? I'm really glued into the, grind.
I'm hearing you, but I'm really invested. Oh, he's dead again.
That was first one.
It's as far as the difficulty goes, I'm playing it on hard difficulty. And there's a few additions to the game where every level they give you a certain they give you 5 or 6 things to 100% if you want to, search 20 bins, you get a platinum. Find all 4 secret areas, you get a platinum. But that could take a longer time than I wanted to give it per level, because it's already hard enough, because I'm putting it on myself to save 100% of the Mudokons. Like, no Mudokan left behind. That's my gameplay. That's what I'm doing for my playthrough. And with that and everything else, like, the levels would take a fucking long time if you wanted to do everything, because you like there's hidden shit that you have to, like, you just have to find and, you know, scour the level for and stuff. So I'm not willing to do that unless it means finding Mudokon. But yeah, as you can see on the pause screen, it shows your progress as you go along. It gives it a little bit of replayability, because for like completionists and 100%ers and that kind of stuff. The updated things for this game are crafting, which is don't get scared. It's very easy, very simple crafting. Picture like it's stuff that you pick up, and then there's like, I think there's 8 total recipes, maybe 8 or 9 total recipes. So it's not a huge crafting thing, and they only give you certain crafting recipes for certain levels. So like the crafting thing you're going to do or you're going to find on that level is going to help you for that particular level. So it's not too deep. You don't have to like, and you don't need to do any of it. It just makes some parts easier to have like soda bombs or rubber band wrapped jawbreakers. The other cool thing in this game mechanically is the way you can. There's 2 ways to get around the sligs, which are the bad guys with the guns. That's talking like this. There's 2 ways to get around them. You can do like you always could in the past. You can possess them, make them shoot each other, explode them, whatever. But you can also, I think, probably do a pacifist run where you throw shit at them, like jawbreaker, not shit, but jawbreakers, water bottles, soda cans, stuff like that. You throw those and it knocks them out, and they go snooze, and then you can you pick their pockets. Like once they're knocked out, you pick their pockets, and if you have tape, which is one of those ingredients, you can tie them up. You actually wrap them up, tie them up, and eventually it shows them on the ground like, and then eventually they just disappear. So it's as good as a kill for removing them from the board, but it's not a kill. So there's, you can handle it in multiple different ways.
Yeah.
Are we still watching this one?
No,
I am.
It took a minute. I don't know how much.
What are we talking here? Like an hour? How long?
You almost had it, and then phase 2 fucked you.
Yeah.
You almost had it.
There are a couple of things that this part in particular will probably show that I would like to address.
Okay.
A few of the reviews for the game, I was like very confused about, because they gave it like a 5 out of 10. And here's the reason.
That's pretty harsh.
I think is that some of the code in the game is less than good. And what I mean by that is sometimes you will jump in a certain location and you will go out of bounds and fall through the world for eternity.
Oh, really?
It's a soft block. So you have to reset your checkpoint. Now, this didn't happen enough to where I was like, I can't play. It's unplayable. I won't play it. But it did happen enough where I was like, this is kind of fucking annoying bullshit. Like, I think in my time playing it happened like half a dozen, maybe 7 times, something like that, where I would take a jump and I go, and you fall all the way down and you're like, that's solid ground there. I just can't jump in that particular section because it doesn't have the proper collision or something like that.
Yeah.
What were the other, like, there was like some other coding. The 2.5D that you see is because most Oddworlds are like just 2D, right? They're on one plane, right? The 2.5D kind of fucks with aiming, whether it be like aiming weapons or aiming like things you throw. It will throw off the board. if you're throwing it into a section that kind of turns or whatever, physically it makes sense. But for a game that is most, god damn it, I was watching, I was hoping that was it. For a game that is mostly played in 2D, it's really frustrating. And there's a couple of weapons that they give you that you have to aim, and the angle of the camera mixed with the controls of the thing you have to aim is really fucking imprecise, and it makes for a frustrating time. It's not a long period of time that you're frustrated, but you definitely get there and you're like, this could be so much better. This could be cleaned up a lot.
Yeah.
But all of that said, and I'm gonna make a big statement. Like, this is probably my favorite game that I played this year. It's fantastic. Granted, you might have to be a fan of Oddworld to begin with, which after playing the first two, I totally am. The story is great. You really you fall in love with Abe. He's so pure, but also he's like, you'll light someone like an enemy on fire and they will burn alive, and he'll go and he'll just laugh at it, and just like, there's some darkness here, there's some like, Abe's seen some shit.
I love you're in the stage right now of just pure upset. You just throwing yourself at the thing very quickly. Before it was like kind of tactful, now you're just like, fuck it, I don't care.
Well, that's the thing. Like, sometimes there are certain areas that behoove you to just just dash, just
let
go.
it rip. Yeah.
Yep, let it go. There is one section of the game that I've come across, and the entire section, this little run, they need to fucking rework that, because it is RNG if you get through, and it's horse shit. It's just a bullshit crapshoot run, and you have to run and you have to hope. Hey, am I doing it?
Is this it?
Am I gonna make it? I don't know.
Phase 2 got him last time. We're gonna see what happens.
There are bullets flying at you, and you have to just hope that they don't hit you, because they're kind of random.
Yeah, all right.
Look. This is when you know it's serious, when there's zero reaction to doing it. He was just like, yeah,
Yep.
Cool, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a slog, but that was a satisfying little.
Oh, we got there. We weren't here to listen to you talk. We got through that, so shut up, Zeke.
Yep, okay. We're done. Hey, we got it. We made it to the end.
Yeah, that's them. What's this game run, by the way? Is this 60?
I think it's a $60 game. Hold on. Oh shit, I gotta open it, because yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's an EGS exclusive, except on console.
Oh, I wonder
on
how much.
PC.
Let me go look at that document real quick. We'll see how much they.
Yeah.
No, I don't. It's not in there, I don't think. Well, cool.
It was free on PS Plus too.
Oh, it was.
Oh,
It was a bonus on PS Plus. There we go.
$50, $49.99 on the Epic Game Store.
Okay, there you go.
But if you like the Exodus and Odyssey, man, it's so good, and it's challenging. I mean, rescuing all the Mudokons on the first two games was fucking hard. This one is too. I will say this game does not have, the hidden areas are not as cleverly hidden, but they're still fun to look around and stuff.
Yeah, cool. Well, we're out of time.
I had fun with it too.
Do what?
I said I had fun with it too.
Oh, I didn't know you played it at all. Okay.
I didn't know you started it.
Yeah. Did you finish it?
No.
Oh,
I just started it and played it for about 3 or 4 hours, and it was really cool. Yeah, really solid.
Cool. Well, we're out of time for this week. I think both of you have finished Disco Elysium. Maybe we'll talk that with.
Oh, we didn't. Yeah.
Might talk. I don't know if Dan has finished that. Maybe I'll check base with him, see if he's finished that.
So you did finish it, Disco.
I finished Disco Elysium. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay.
Thumbs up, thumbs down.
The game.
I'm excited to talk about that with you.
Both thumbs up, Zeke. It was thumbs up for you. Ending was thumbs up.
Yo, it's if it's just a matter of thumbs up or thumbs down, definitely thumbs up.
Okay, gotcha. Also,
There's a
Zeke,
lot to talk about,
I gotta ask you about the lovers fight in Persona 3. For some reason, someone in chat told me to ask you about the lovers fight.
Did you played all the way through P3, right?
Ages ago. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's like that RNG section I was talking about in Oddworld. This one shits all over it. This one just goes, "Fuck you," and just like you have to sit there and go. You're like, seriously, and you get that power, and that one. It's purposely set up, I think, for the devs to enjoy just dreaming about like.
How bad that fucked player over?
That fight is so bullshit. Oh, I love it so much. It's the worst. It's the worst fight in any Persona game I've ever had. Worse
I got than the fucking.
But it was dumb.
Than the astronaut guy. Even worse than him. The space dude in 5.
Space dude.
Remember him? Maybe you guys didn't have as much struggle as I did with him. Oh, that's Royal only. Spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well. He's a motherfucker.
Barely spoilers, because when you say space dude, I bet you tell 100 people space dude and 100 different images pop in their head.
Hey, man. The astronaut. Let's talk about him and return that motherfucker. I don't even... Anyways, we're getting into spoilers. Let's do some shout outs and call it a show. Zeke, start us off. What's going on?
Not much. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank you, Max, for joining us, man. Always good to have you, brother.
It's always fun.
Thanks to Cohh and JP for being the co-host with the Mo hosts. My name is Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at or / Ezekiel_III, just like that. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all that shit. Well, Instagram's different, but okay. If you want to catch me, I'll be on live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific. I will be finishing up Oddworld. It'll be the last day. I don't know if it's going to take me the full 8 hours or it's going to take me just a bit longer, but it feels like I could finish up the game in one long session. So that's what we're going to do, because Friday's Resident Evil Village, and we're doing that. So come hell or high water, Oddworld is done tomorrow, and then Resident Evil starts Friday, Saturday, and I heard it might be relatively short, so maybe Indie Sunday happens. But if we're not done with Resident Evil, we're gonna keep playing it. So that's what I got. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, most people said it was I think 10 hours is what all the leaks are saying for Resident Evil 8. People are pissed off that it's. Yeah,
it's not that bad. Maybe I'll try it if it's not that long.
And people wonder why they make games 10 hours. It's because it's not that long of a game. That's why. Right there. Go do some shout outs.
Sure. Big thank you as always to JP and Zeke, and a special thanks to Mr. Max, GassyMexican. Thanks for being here today. My name is Cohh. You can find me starting every day at 8 a.m. ET. We've been playing a lot of Hunt Showdown lately. We're actually probably going to do that tomorrow morning. Then my normal half days on Thursday. Tonight, I'll be back with Binding of Isaac around 6:30 p.m. ET. Then Friday, of course, Resident Evil 8. We just finished our Resident Evil 7 and all DLC run. So very much looking forward to Resident Evil 8. Then we've got all sorts of other fun stuff coming up later this month. Hope to see you there for it. And as always, thank you for watching.
Cool. Max, do some shout outs.
Why are
Halo guy. I'm over here now.
Max, do some shout outs for us, please.
I'm gonna get bigger. Oh wait, no, just
you're like an animated emote.
Hey guys, what's up? How's it going? GassyMexican. Hope you guys like me being on the show. It was a good time. Thanks for having me.
Go back to regular voice. Yeah, I'm GassyMexican. You can see me all the way up. Did I get it right first try? Yeah, up there. Usually I stream around like 9 p.m. Central. We'll be online tonight playing something. We've been playing a lot of Barrow Trauma lately. True variety, play a lot of different stuff. I'm excited for hopefully if that Chivalry beta happens again. Ooh, I'm over here now. Look at that.
There we go.
And yeah, we also on Saturdays too. If you're interested, if you like Star Trek specifically, we're doing Star Trek Saturdays again. That's on Saturdays starting around like 8 or 9 p.m. Central. We're making our way through Deep Space Nine.
Downtown.
We watched all of the Next Generation, and now we're doing Deep Space Nine. We're starting season 2. coming this next Saturday. But other than that, find me throughout the week. Sundays, they take off. Thanks for having me on the show. It's always fun to be here.
Yeah.
Whenever you want me back, let me know.
We'll
good
do.
time.
We got to play some Chivalry. So consider yourself
Absolutely.
invited whenever that's announced. When
Sounds
it
good.
goes live with another beta or the game's launched, you're on that week. So just
Cool.
pencil it in into the schedule. Next week, we'll be joined by the dude himself, Maximilian. Will be here to talk Resident Evil 8 along with Cohh and Zeke.
Returnal.
And Returnal and big fighting game beta next week. Guilty Gear Strive, so we'll be chatting to him about that. Then I think the following week, Dan S. Gaming is going to be joining us. Dan S. Esquire Gaming, I think is his full name.
And S game.
Yeah, that's his name. I don't know why anyone would say anything else. But that's that for Drop Frames. Thanks everyone so much for watching.
Little known fact, the S stands for Sasha.
Oh, I didn't
Dan
know.
Sasha Gaming.
Oh, I didn't know that. Like Sacha Baron Cohen, like that.
Yes. SACHA.
All right. Okay. There you go. We learned a little bit more about our streamers, our favorite streamer friends. That's it. Thanks everyone so much for watching. We'll see you next week with more Drop Frames. We're out though for this week. Bye-bye.